Some people have asked the question of how often the blades need to be changed on the Vitamix blender. And I think, in my experience, I've had my blender for about probably 8 years now, that it really depends on what you're blending with your blender. Now, predominantly, I only blend things like smoothies and soups, and that's about it. But the Vitamix has the capability of doing so many things like making flours, nut flours, and really kind of crushing anything. If you had spices you wanted to dehydrate and then blend in your blender to make into powder for rubs or whatever else, things that had hard shells or coatings on them, that might dull your blade a little bit faster. But if you're just using things like frozen fruit or liquids, generally speaking, I don't think that you're going to have to change your blade very often. Now, if I look at my blade, you can see that there's no rough edges on it. And when I do some research, I find that that is where you're going to be probably changing out the blade on your Vitamix, is when your Vitamix blade starts to get some rough edges or ridges in it. Now, if you did have to change the blade on your Vitamix, if you had to take the blade out and do an inspection, or if you wanted to change the blade out, it's really simple to do. All you have to do is take the bottom of your Vitamix off, and that should come off with a turn. It might be, if you haven't done it for a while, it might be on there a little bit tightly, but generally speaking, it's not hard to get off. And that just comes off like this. And then carefully you'll remove your blade from your Vitamix, and you can do a better inspection on it. Now you can see on my blades here, they're still quite smooth. There's no rough ridges on them. If you started getting some gouges or edges that were not nice and smooth and sharp, then you might want to consider changing the blade out on your Vitamix. I don't think that this is going to be something that you're going to do very often. This is really hard steel, and it's like I said, it's lasted me a good 8 years, and I haven't had to change it yet, and the blades are still fairly sharp on it. So if that is something that you have to do, then just really changing the blade out like this, getting your new blade, putting it in, and putting the base back on. Is really all that you have to do to change out your blade. And there you go.